Hey, how y'all doing? Coming to y'all from my YouTube channel, True Greatness. Thank you for those who have viewed my videos in the past, those who have viewed my current videos. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my future subscribers. I want to say definitely make comments on this video, share this video, check out my other ones as well. Comment on those and share those as well too. So I wanted to do a movie review. Now this is the first time in some months that I've done a movie review. Now, thank you to having the Fire Stick. I've watched a lot of movies, and truthfully, I probably could have did I don't know how many movie reviews / documentary reviews over these last months. But I like to do different, talk about different topics on my channel. So that's why it's been a minute since I've done a movie review. I felt like I really wanted to do a movie review outside of the more recent one I did when I did a list of the top 10 documentaries as movies that I watched during quarantine. By the way, check that video out too. Some really good ones on there. Some really good documentaries. I mentioned some really good movies, in my opinion, that I thought are worth watching. Excuse me. So the movie I'm going to talk about tonight is Wonder Woman 1984. Now, this movie was the single most anticipated movie for me in some years, as far as that I really wanted to see. Now, there's been movies, obviously, over these, recent years that I wanted to see and was really excited about seeing, but the anticipation for this movie was on another level for me. More than both Avenger movies, I mean, Infinity War / Endgame, which both I wanted to see and was, liked them both. But wanted to see this even more than that. It was just, I can go down to other movies that I've anticipated wanted to see, but this anticipation was, like I said, just really, really wanted to see this movie more than any other movie in recent history for me. And I'm saying recent meaning the last few years. Because the first Wonder Woman, to me, was that good. And that came out in 2017. For the longest, I don't know why I thought it was 2016, but I went back and saw it 2017. And I want to preference this also. I remember when I first heard about Gal Gadot, or Gadot, if I'm saying her name right, being announced as Wonder Woman. And I was kind of like, the girl from Fast and Furious, or excuse me, the woman from Fast and Furious, not really. I'm cool with that. Like, I don't not really think it's gonna be all that great. And granted, I knew of Wonder Woman and her character, but I never went back and watched the old show to know like who her villains were and all that type of stuff. So I went into seeing the first Wonder Woman sort of like when Batman came out, The Dark Knight, when it was announced that Heath Ledger is going to be Joker. I was like, really? And still, if not the best villain of the modern era, definitely one of them. How he played Joker, as far as like how he particularly played, and definitely to me, the best portrayal of Joker. So I came into Wonder Woman kind of having that same, which think I would learn from history, kind of same thought process of, well, I don't know if she's going to really fit. Like, I haven't seen enough of her acting to know if she really would be a good Wonder Woman. I was wrong. She just really elevated that role and just did a great job. So that's the backstory into why I was so excited for the new one to come out, which finally came out last week on Christmas in theaters and on HBO Max. Now, I knew, like, it kept getting pushed back, and I understood why, obviously. It kept getting pushed back. But I remember the day after I saw Wonder Woman that came out in 2017 with her, I was like, I can't wait for the second one to come out. Obviously, I didn't know when they were going to bring it out. I obviously knew there was another one coming. So when the initial announcement happened, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the movie I've been waiting for like that. As far as my most anticipated movie. Now, there's other movies that I want to see too that's coming out relatively well now, have been pushed back to next year. But this, out of all the ones that was coming out this year before the pushback started happening, and just even in general, waiting for when that release date was going to be, I was so amped for this movie. So now, what do I think of it? Or what did I think of it? By the way, thank you HBO Max. Really, thank you Fire Stick. First, I want to say this: the Wonder Woman 2017, the first Wonder Woman, in her, which probably going to be a trilogy. Who knows? Might be more of her playing Wonder Woman. The 2017 was an A++. I just want to start out by saying that. So, my expectations for 1984, like I said, which just came out last week on Christmas, was so high. Was so like, okay, this is gonna be on that level again. What I would give the movie, to be honest, it was good. It was good. I would give Wonder Woman 1984, and some titles Wonder Woman 84, on the cover art, I would give it a B+. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still really good, in my opinion. And I also want to state this: Kristen Wiig, I think I'm saying her last name right, stole the show of the movie. I thought she was definitely, like, she just was a breakout. I mean, it's not like this is her first movie and she's unknown or anything like that, but I really thought she stood out the most in the movie. The character, kind of your, I don't want to give too much away, kind of your typical backstory, kind of like, you know, the person that is invisible to a lot of people, trying to, like, find that tight trust and friendship, you know, all those type of things, and then what, you know, leads from that. So just that role was kind of what we've seen in movies before, to a certain extent, you know, to a certain extent, or variations of it. But she still, to me, like, stood out to the most in the movie. Really good action. Storyline, as far as the villain was concerned, like the main villain. Again, I would say the secondary part, but I don't want to give away too much. But the main villain, I like the main villain in the first one, and even I almost gonna say the main villains in the first one. Whereas in this one, I actually liked who was the secondary villain better than the primary villain. And the secondary villain played a major role. And, you know, like I said, I'm not going to say who that was. But overall, I thought the villains in the first one was slightly better. Even though, like I said, the secondary villain I would have put up there with the first Wonder Woman villains. Or 2017, excuse me, villains. Again, Gail Goodnight, I think I'm saying her name right. She did well again, as Wonder Woman, and like I said, looking forward to whenever that third one's going to come out, because I'm just guessing and thinking there's going to be a third one. So my anticipation for that, I think I'm going to be in the middle of what I think is going to be. If I thought the first one was the A++, and this one to me is a B+, I definitely think wherever that third one is going to be, is going to fall in the middle of those two grades, and how I graded it. So it's going to be an A, whatever that is. So I say that to say it didn't meet my full expectations. to be honest, I would say not completely, but my expectations were were a little I'm gonna say it. Were kind of almost unattainable to a certain extent. I mean, the only thing would have been it would have just matched what the first one was, which it would have been another A++. So it didn't reach that to me. But is it worth seeing? Yes. Is it good action? Yes. Is it entertaining? Yes. I wouldn't. It doesn't really. I mean, it sort of has those couple comedy spots to a certain extent, but overall, it held and kept my attention. And I would say this: the end scene, the post-credit scene, I'll say it like that, is nothing spectacular. It's kind of like a, how can I say it? Almost like a passing of the torch type of thing, more so than anything else. So, as if you're a long time Wonder Woman fan, as far as watch the shows, or anything like that, I don't know if they did a Wonder Woman movie or TV movie outside of doing the one in 2017 back in the day. I'm not sure about that, but if you follow the comics, and her origin story and everything, and just her story, and then when it came on TV with Linda Carter and all that, for nostalgia purposes, the end credit scene is cool. But as far as connecting to another, whatever the third Wonder Woman movie will be, or connecting to if they attempt to ever do another Justice League or any other DC movie connections, no, it doesn't do anything for that, without saying too much. But yeah, I like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, it wasn't better than the first one, and a lot of times it happens. It's very rare, at least that I've seen, where the sequel is better than the first one or the prequel. The only movie of recent, there's two movies I would say that, whether it was a sequel or the third installment, was better than the first one, and that would be Dark Knight, like I said, with obviously Kristen Bale, and then Heath Ledger playing the Joker. Batman Begins was good, but The Dark Knight, that second one, was so much better than Batman Begins as a whole. If you look at it as a whole, that's one. And then the last Thor, the Ragnarok, was 20 times better than the first Thor or the second Thor. So those are, and I'm just talking about superhero movies, where you kind of see either the second installment or the third installment is better than the first installment. This one to me was sort of the traditional route, where the first installment was better than the second installment. Or I don't know what the third installment is going to be, so I can't say how I feel about that yet, whenever that comes out. But this was one of those ones where the second one was good, but it didn't surpass the first one. So again, I would say definitely worthwhile. So about 2 hours and 20, 30 minutes, something like that. It's over 2 hours, which personally I like that a lot. Any movie that entertains me, I prefer the longer the better. I know some people don't like long movies, even if they like the movie. I don't listen. If it's really good, action, comedy, superhero, drama, thriller, horror movie, suspense, whatever you want to say. If it's a movie that I like, the longer the better. So I was glad this was over 2 hours. And I mean, the first one was over 2 hours. So I wasn't surprised by it at all. So, like I said, it's a movie that I think will catch your attention. And just something just to kind of sit back, relax, and, kind of chill and watch. I think it's definitely worthwhile. So that's what I think of it. Like I said, it's kind of the recap. Like I said, Kristen Wiig to me was the standout of the movie. And like I said, it had enough action. That was really good. Had a couple, like I said, comedy spots, but just really good action. And it did enough to hold the attention. And I would see it again. I definitely will watch it again. And if this was under circumstances where most theaters weren't closed, especially in the area that I'm at, I would saw it in theaters, and then I would see it in theaters again. So it was good enough for that. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it on my Fire Stick again, but I would say you won't be disappointed after watching it. So that's me. Definitely subscribe, view, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Check out my other videos. Share this video. And see you on the flip side. Peace.